Welcome back to Lariat TV News. Thanks for joining us. This week we'll bring you a little bit of magic as well as some information on the Mayborn Museum's newest project. I'm Abby Ferguson.
And I'm Hannah Joseph. We have a lot to get into, but first, an update on the hole outside of North Village. Last week, Abby Ferguson showed you how a hole outside North Village was rerouting students, but now the same construction site may finally be getting some much-needed attention.
On this Friday afternoon, after about 7 weeks of what could be considered a ghost town construction site, workers are now here filling in the hole at North Village. A construction worker at the site just informed me that they were told last night that they would be filling in the hole after some concerns were raised about wheelchair accessibility. While the construction was only completed to clear the sidewalks, students were surprised but happy to see workers finally at the site.
Since then, it has literally stood there with a backhoe in the exact same spot the entire time, and we just haven't been able to get anybody out here to come fix it. So I'm glad they're finally doing some work, and hopefully we can walk on the sidewalk again.
Workers finished clearing the sidewalk on Friday afternoon. Residents are glad they now have a direct path between U-House and Texana and are optimistic on how clearing the entire site will bring the community together.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to be able to use the fire pit now, which honestly, I can't wait for all the events we will do.
Residents received an email on the afternoon of Thursday, October 5th, that there will be a hot water outage due to construction on the adjacent steam leak on October 6th, and they are hopeful that the site will finally be fully cleared and construction will conclude. For Lariat TV News, I'm Abby Ferguson.
How old is too old to believe in fairy tales? According to this organization, the answer is you're never too old, especially when it makes a difference in a child's life. Claire Goodyear brings the magic to you.
Playing dress-up as an adult may seem silly to some, but this woman turned Disney princesses into a source of joy for children in need.
A Moment of Magic essentially started as a college project out of my dorm room, but then it really grew into a powerful movement where we were able to take college students into pediatric hospitals just to bring joyful experiences and moments where the kids felt less like a patient and more like a kid again.
Zarnock started the organization as a tribute to lost loved ones, but never expected what would come next.
When I started the organization because my grandparents had both been hospitalized long term, and I lost them very suddenly and very close together, and I wanted to figure out how to kind of continue their legacy for others. And I thought it would be something that I did once or twice, or it'd be a weekend project or a service opportunity, but once you see how much of an impact you can make on other people, it really becomes a driving force to do more and try to help as many people as you can.
It's unique, but that means it's drawn supporters with similar interests.
To be able to give someone else the gift of joy and laughter and fun is something that's really contagious. So people just started seeing our pictures and our videos and word of mouth and reaching out. I think a lot of people want to be helpers, and I think we just gave them the opportunity to help others.
And it's just as rewarding for those getting into character.
We meet so many children that are in the hospital and they are going through really difficult things and don't have many opportunities to laugh or smile, but there have been so many times that a parent has pulled us aside and said, "Thank you so much for doing this, because this is the first time I saw my child smile this week or this month or this year." And hearing that from a parent's perspective as well, they know their kids best, and that's never something that we take for granted or never something that gets old.
With 30 Moment of Magic chapters across America and over 13,000 college students volunteering, their work does not go unnoticed.
Flash forward almost a decade, we have college students across the country and have served more than 125,000 children.
It started in a dorm room. Now Zarnock's vision is changing lives every day. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Goodyear.
The Mayborn Museum is being reborn with a massive renovation plan starting this spring. The $16 million project will start with bronze mammoth sculptures out front and then move forward in 4 phases, including reimagined exhibits and a more interactive experience for guests.
But the thing about being like a natural science and cultural history museum is that new research is coming out all of the time about the things that are in our collection, but also, the prehistory of Central Texas. And so a real purpose behind this renovation is to make sure that our exhibits are really sharing the most cutting edge research that's happening here at Baylor University.
The renovations will take place over the next 10 years, but don't worry, the museum says they are committed to staying open despite the remodel.
The current exhibit at the Martin Museum of Art is aiming to take viewers on a journey of human experience, discovery, and expression. LTVN's Jared Cottingham captures the collection.
Personal art exhibited can be rewarding, but these specific pieces are a voice for more than the artists themselves. Collections manager Mike Schwetz sees public artwork as an incentive for change.
It's an affirmation of being heard and seen, which I think goes beyond the individual. I think it goes on to others. Intellectually, emotionally, socially, it all gathers and it becomes ingrained in a growing culture.
Baylor alumni Jessica Beecham and her husband Kelvin Beecham first proposed that their collected art be put on display. Soon after, a vision was created for text on the wall, the exhibit catalog, and artwork shown. An aesthetic that informs viewers of the themes, lived experience, identity, and power and process.
It's such a beautiful exhibition. I wanted to communicate a real strength through the font that I chose and the way that it was exhibited on the walls.
When visiting the exhibit, aim to learn historical lessons and hidden meanings through expression.
The materials that you wouldn't normally see used, there are materials of fabrics that represent multicultural backgrounds. So I think it's really quite a collection.
At the exhibit, be open to where the artwork takes you, while asking questions to interpret and construct an identity.
Allow yourself access to spend time and allow yourself to be impacted by this.
The Martin Museum of Art is open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4 p.m., but the exhibit will close on November 5th. For Lariat TV News, I'm Giera Cottingham.
Baylor-affiliated authors Greg Garrett and Robert P. Jones held a discussion about race at Moody Library Thursday. Their passion and most recent work center around America's past and present discrimination in their new book, The Gospel According to James Baldwin. The book focuses on racial challenges and healing in the United States.
This is an opportunity to bring authors so that students have an opportunity, even faculty, how do we engage with new ideas so that you're balancing and then you actually have an experiential option of engaging with authors.
Copies of the book are available at the Baylor bookstore or online. Up next, a 30-year collaboration has led one Parisian luxury brand to Waco.
But Missions Week at Baylor is doing just the opposite, calling students out of the country. Keep it here.
Let there be light. Let there be roommates and teammates and strangers who become family. Let there be marching and cheering. Let there be challenging courses and time to share. Scholarship and championships. Let there be groundbreaking and soul-searching. Let there be laughter. Let there be joy. Let there be light.
Since August, the Waco Art Center has hosted an exhibit featuring a renowned designer brand collaborating with a local artist. Caitlin Sides paints you the picture.
For the last couple of months, the Waco Art Center has had a special exhibit that brings a piece of Paris to the heart of Texas. Hermes in the heart of Waco, the art of Kermit Oliver, has been on display since early August. The collection of scarves are all artwork of Kermit Oliver, who currently lives in Waco.
First of its kind, so I think it's really something special that we have here in Waco, and it's a local artist, and you're probably never going to see all these scarves in the same room again.
The collection features screen-printed scarves that were loaned from local collectors, and there were only around 2,000 scarves made.
They're very special. They're very special. And between him as an artist and then the artisans at Hermes, it's definitely a really great collaboration of functionality and fashion and then fine art.
Throughout the exhibit, scarves are framed and shown on mannequins that show different ways the scarves can be worn.
We incorporated these mannequins to display kind of like how you can wear a scarf, because I think scarves are one of those things that a lot of people feel maybe intimidated to actually put one on.
The exhibit will be open until October 14th and is free for everyone. For Lariat TV News, I'm Caitlin Sides.
One program on campus is introducing students to the future of fashion with one special machine. LTVN's Danica Young tells you the story.
We're probably all going to be wearing these to class. I can't wait. Can we all wear them at the same day? Yes.
Baylor apparel design and merchandising students say their classes are like none other on campus.
My favorite part, I would say, is how expressive I get to be. A lot of my classes are very much taking notes and lecturing, but all of my apparel design classes are all where I get to show my creative side, and it makes me really excited because I think that's what I'm best at.
Professor Lauren DeVita says there is more to the major than people think, and their program is preparing students for the future of design.
Our program is a fantastic mix of three key things. It is creative, it is analytic, and it's technical.
Right here at Baylor, students are working towards the future of fashion design, and they're using this machine to do it.
We are actually using the body scan, where students can use scanner in the classroom to measure the body by the blink of seconds.
Students are learning to use a size stream scanner that is a contact-free 3D measuring technology platform that measures an individual size.
It's really cool. It's all hands-on. It's like, you really get to learn it because you're doing it yourself.
Throughout the rest of this semester, students will prepare their designs for the fashion show in the spring. For Lariat TV News, I'm Danica Young.
If you saw t-shirts with globes and food truck vouchers near Fountain Mall, then you were catching a glimpse of the Baylor Missions Fair. Here's an inside look.
This week, Baylor Missions kicks off its annual Missions Fair, where students have the opportunity to try culturally different foods and make a change globally.
The Missions Fair, lasting Monday through Thursday, hosted some pretty incredible people. From South Korea to Africa and Haiti, we hear about the distinct culture and how people are making a difference globally.
We're a partner organization to a Haitian nonprofit that has been in existence in Pion, Haiti since the early 1980s. It's entirely Haitian run, and we are there as a support network for them.
Similar to A Promise for Haiti, the Rafiki Foundation sends missionaries like May Neely to strange parts of Africa, where she will serve for 3 years starting next month.
And we have 10 different villages in Africa. Our mission is to that everyone we touch knows Jesus and to upgrade their standard of living.
The Missions Fair also had foods from different cultures for students to try.
Food is a big cultural thing, so once you start eating, then you can be immersed in the culture and know more about the culture as well. We want to expose a lot of Baylor students to go on mission trips and just to know more about what's out there and like the culture and just have a heart for missions as well, to serve others.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Hannah Joseph.
While anyone is able to participate in missions work, certain ministries are looking for people with a specific skill set. Signs of Love is a ministry that solely focuses on the deaf, specifically in Latin America. Many people in this area remain unreached because of their inability to communicate with others, but this ministry is working hard to change that.
We're the only deaf ministry that's here this week. The deaf are the largest unreached people group in the world, and a lot of times they are very overlooked and forgotten. So there's a huge need for ministry among the deaf. A lot of these other organizations that are here will have parts of their ministry that are devoted to the deaf, but Signs of Love has been completely focused on nothing but the deaf and deaf ministry for over 20 years.
Another ministry took a step further, calling all pre-health students to serve. Partnering with a mission-based organization, pre-health students have the chance to visit a new country, learn new medical practices, and help vulnerable children and families across the globe.
We're promoting our medical mission trip to the Dominican Republic. We partner with One More Child, so they also take care of hosting us with different hospitals and clinics, so we can shadow physicians there, and then we also go to their ministry sites and schools where we get more interaction with the children.
If you didn't get a chance to visit Missions Week, you can visit onemorechild.org to see ways that you can make a difference.
Michelle Stover, a chemistry professor, is here to try and take the fear out of learning chemistry. From hating chemistry in high school, one of her high school teachers forever changed her perspective, and now Stover wants to do the same. She's created a variety of tactics by bringing active learning to a notoriously difficult subject, hoping to bring wonder to the students she teaches.
I hated it. It was my lowest grade. It was the one class I did not like in high school. Your opinion can be changed, because mine went from despising to wonder. My desire of letting them have that same experience comes out because I know it's possible.
Baylor football is coming off a record-breaking win into a primetime matchup.
And volleyball and soccer took on Big 12 opponents at home. Sports is next.
Living our best life, taking it all in stride.
After Baylor football's historic win versus UCF, the Bears are looking to take down Texas Tech in Waco Saturday. Baylor has a lengthy history versus the Red Raiders with a notable 45-7 win last season in Lubbock. Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire held many positions on the Baylor coaching staff, including the title of associate head coach from 2017 until 2021 when he left for the Red Raiders. Following the largest comeback in Baylor history against UCF, the Bears are trying not to get too excited and stay focused on the game ahead.
I just say staying grounded, just keeping trust in our teammates, and just to keep us going, keeping our faith in God, knowing we got each other back.
Baylor hasn't lost to Tech in Waco since 2007, so we'll see if they can keep that streak alive. Kickoff is 7 p.m. at McLean Stadium. And the enthusiasm surrounding the Bears' win last week versus UCF is real on campus. But is Baylor football really back? Claire Marie Scott finds out where students stand.
Saturday, Baylor football pulled off a historic win with a 28-point comeback versus UCF. But Baylor students have mixed reactions when it comes to if the Bears are actually back.
It's like a love-hate relationship at this point. Because, like, at first, it was what I expected. Then, it was like, they're not too bad, but, like, try to get a win somewhere. And then after what I heard about last week, that complete comeback, absolutely crazy.
Not every student is as optimistic.
I think we should fire our head coach. I expect performance, and there has not been enough performance for my satisfaction.
Blake Shapen started against UCF after battling an injury, which another student credits with a win in a potential season turnaround.
Shapen's back in the saddle. I think our O-line's gaining more experience. I think they're blocking him a little better. I think Robertson is a way better double threat, but I think it's better to have a quarterback who can throw the ball, and so glad to have Shapen back.
Some students have been criticizing others over a lack of spirit, especially from the Baylor line. But after a win like last week, that could certainly turn around.
I think people have to be excited to go to games. It's very exciting to go to college games anyways, but just the fact that they won and set a record last week, I think that's a really big deal. So I think it's really going to get students more involved this week for the game.
Not everyone is convinced, though.
We can win the next game this Saturday. Maybe I'll take my opinion away, but if we can't win this coming game, again, I expect performance.
Saturday, we'll see if the Bears can live up to those expectations. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Marie Scott.
Baylor soccer defeated Iowa State 4-2 Thursday night, their second consecutive conference win of the season. The team was led by sophomore forward and TCU transfer Tyler Eastrig, who scored 2 of the Bears' 4 goals. Coming in the 61st minute of the game, senior midfielder Ashley Merrill was able to put the match away, scoring her 8th goal of the season and bringing Baylor's lead to 4-1. The Bears are now 8th in the conference, tied with West Virginia and Oklahoma, and they'll travel to Orlando for the first time this weekend to take on the UCF Knights Sunday, October 8th. Now, Baylor volleyball was also in action Thursday, but despite a rally, the Bears couldn't hold off Kansas State. Here's the rundown. 18th ranked Baylor went down to Kansas State Thursday after a fight to the finish as a rally from the Bears took the match all the way to 5 sets and saved Baylor from a sweep.
Definitely very, very discouraged with the slow start. You know, it's the margins are really thin in our sport. They're a great team, a hungry team, looking to get wins. So, I thought once we were hungry, we were playing pretty good.
The Wildcats took the first 2 sets, outscoring the Bears by 7 and 11 points and leading Baylor in kills and blocks.
We got to block better still. I think that's a part of our game that's is not putting enough pressure on our opponents. You know, they're just swinging hard and too many good things are happening for them. Like 6 blocks, we want to be like 2.5 per set.
Baylor only averaged just over 1 block per set against Kansas State. But just when the Wildcats were ready to bring out the brooms, the Bears turned up the heat.
We also kind of just lit a fire underneath of all of us. Let's go. We now or never really. So yeah, that was the message.
And they took that message seriously, taking the match all the way to 5 sets.
It felt like 5th set, both teams are fighting, playing hard.
But 6 errors added up.
The errors we had in that 5th set were aggressive hitting errors, which, hey, we can live with that as we train. We're going to be better at those.
And the Wildcats escaped with a win.
I mean, they fought hard, but it was definitely encouraging to see that we were able to fight back after being down in those first 2 sets. So I think that we just have to carry on that fight to tomorrow.
The team is hoping to do just that as they continue their series with Kansas State Friday at 7 p.m. For Lariat TV News from the Farrell Center, I'm George Schroeder. And although he couldn't quite add to the total Thursday, volleyball head coach Ryan McGuire was honored on the court as the winningest volleyball coach in Baylor's history. He broke the record after a win in Fort Collins, the Rams Volleyball Classic, against the Pacific Tigers. His record now stands at 186-70 all time. And that'll do it for us this week in sports, but make sure to follow Lariat Sports on X, formerly Twitter, for the latest on your Bears. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, George. Well, that about wraps up this week's newscast. For more Lariat content, follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Baylor Lariat.
We'll be taking next week off for fall break, but we'll see you back the 20th of October. Have a great week, good luck on your midterms, and as always, sic 'em Bears.